Okay, so you can see the total layout is a little bit changed. You have this little screen where you can look at your mech on a black background. And unfortunately, they've brought back the shop, so you actually have to like go between this and the actual assembly part a lot. But you can already see starting off in here, even though we don't have a lot of parts, and I've already gone around buying some stuff. Everything's kind of changed a little bit. You've got some new heads, you've got some new, weirder looking core parts and stuff like that. Oh, by the way, Ekbal changed their name to Algebra. I think it's just because all of their guys died, and then they didn't want to be associated with that anymore, but they still produce all the really lightweight stuff and low energy drain parts. The actual generator that we have for the Omer starting Armored Core is extremely good, and we already get to start off with most of the really good boosters, so there wasn't too much else to buy. Basically just replaced the core and the arms and got our old rifles back. And then if you go in here, you can start to see it's kind of broken down more like Armored Core 5 if you're familiar with that. But the biggest by far change in all of this is when you go into an item, you can actually hit the, the back button? It's whatever option button you have on the left side of the controller, and you can go in and actually see what each of these numbers means. So this is the first time they ever implemented this in any of the games, and it is extremely important because otherwise you had no idea what some of these things would do. Especially when they added in new things like, say, maneuverability for arms. Like, oh, it means that you actually acquire the enemies quicker and can target them faster. Or some of these other things, like, say, parallel processing was a big one. Nobody was really sure what that did until you could actually go in and look it up and says, hey, you can use two weapons in tandem and you don't have lock-on degradation. So that's pretty nice. And then, unfortunately, the emblem editor, well, first of all, I had to recreate the emblem again, but you go in, and it's still just the same, like, 16 layers. They didn't add anything new at all to this. So that sucks. But you can't get everything. And I want to show you one more thing. So if we go into the test room, remember during the first quick boost tutorial where I was trying to show, hey, there's some sort of like turn you can do where you can slide to a stop without actually boosting, and I thought I was just bad so I couldn't do it. Well, it turns out they only added that during Armored Core 4 Answer. So, okay, I already did it, but let me clear these guys out first. Also, I want you to note the speed, and note that I'm basically using a stock starter mech and how much faster I'm going. Like, they sped this game up a lot from the last one. So it gets pretty out of hand really fast, and you can see I'm already breaking like 1,300 kilometers an hour there on a second stage side boost. Yeah, so it gets a lot faster than that. Anyways, if I boost forward and then turn, I can do this slide, which is really useful because it doesn't really affect your cooldowns or anything. But it's kind of tricky to pull off. It does save on energy though, but a lot of times you're kind of mashing at that point if you're on the ground, so a lot of people are just used to doing quick turns anyways.